Ever notice that when things aren't working as you'd like in your business, you double down, more hours, more efforts, but results are not really following, and you're more and more frustrated as things are not moving as you'd like them to. So what if working harder is actually the trap that is keeping you stuck, and that the solution is to actually change who is doing the work? In this video, I will show you why working harder in a situation that is already stuck is not helping you, how your identities and beliefs are playing a huge role on your business results, and what to do to finally break through that glass ceiling so you can grow revenue more than ever before. But before we get into it, and if you are new to this channel, hi, my name is Mathilde, and I help online entrepreneurs remove the inner blocks, limiting beliefs, and identities that are keeping them stuck so they can grow confidently their business and enjoy it. So if that resonates, please feel free to subscribe and look at the link in the description if you want to go deeper. Working harder is actually multiplying what you are already doing with time. It can be great in certain situations when you need that extra time and that extra effort. But if you feel that you've been stuck for a while and things are not working and are not moving at the pace that you'd like, you would be doubling down and actually scaling more of something that is not working for you. So you might get short bumps along the way, but it's just bumps. You're not really having the translation of your efforts correspondingly of your efforts. You are having just small wins. If you feel stuck, if you're feeling like you're in a loop, like you're plateauing, you're having a glass ceiling, you feel that, it's probably identities, beliefs, and fears that are blocking you. If you have identities and beliefs that are contradicting where you want to go, you're gonna feel always pulled by those, like driving your business with the handbrake, you know? How do you release that handbrake so you can naturally drive your vehicle in a much more fluid and rewarding way? There are solutions for those things to dissolve. And that is a huge part of what I do for my clients. So if that interests you, look at the link in the description. But let's get deeper a bit into like what's a belief and what's an identity and how does it affect your results in your business right now. I don't know if you heard about confirmation bias, but especially directed to identities, it's very, very strong. We have a tendency to confirm what we already know, what we believe in, and what we believe about ourselves. If you have the belief of rich people are shady and the identity of I am a kind and honest and just person, do you see how this doesn't align? You can have the desire to have more money, but desire is not going to move the needle because naturally the brain is going to want to defend what it knows because it's the comfort zone, and it will do it in a very, very unconscious way. We humans operate between 90 and 95% of our day with our subconscious, not our consciousness. So a lot of what we do is reactions of those beliefs, reactions of those identities to confirm them into our actions. And when your belief system is not supporting your goals, it's not aligned with your goals, and even worse, if it's like contradicting your goals, that's the handbrake. I'm gonna get deeper into that in a second, but the second pattern also that could block you at that moment is fears. Fears are tricky. There are fears that we know and we are very conscious of, and there are fears that we're not very conscious of. Fear is giving you the impression that you're gonna get hurt, or worse, your life is threatened. It's the nervous system reaction to keep us alive. But the brain doesn't make the difference between a tiger and the possibility of you going broke, or get humiliated on social media, or a potential client rejecting your offer. I'm gonna do a whole other video around fear. I think it's so interesting, and especially like to understand it so we can navigate it much better in our business. But fear can take a lot of different forms, like procrastination, overthinking, self-doubt, even perfectionism, so you can safely avoid the emotions that you do not want to feel. These fears don't care about what you want. They want to keep you safe. They want to keep you in what they know, in a comfortable position. And that's the same thing with beliefs and identities. They want to keep you into what you already know in your current self because it knows what to expect. Even if it's not what you want, it knows what to expect. And the brain loves that. So one of the most efficient things that you can do if you want to get those results is to actually go to the root, which is identities and your belief systems and the fears that we were talking about, and release them, reactualize them so they can actually serve your business and not cap it. Example of those could be, I am confident within myself to actually face the obstacles along my way. Money is a multiplier. It can help me help more people. It doesn't change who I am. I can decide what I do with it. Insert your own examples here, but I guess you get my point. And we all have like identities and beliefs that are serving our business right now. And some of them are like preventing us to go and reach our goals. And this is another part of what I do with my clients, is to actually reactualize your belief systems and your identities. And honestly, even like go beyond identities so you can allow yourself to put in the right actions that will move the business in the way that you want it to go. This is very empowering, and it's a much more enjoyable way to actually work also. So it's a win-win. One last thing before I get into the practical tools that you can apply. The main symptoms that you can check in with yourself right now, that you have beliefs, identities, or fears that are keeping you stuck, that are preventing you from growing the business naturally, more easily, is that you have behaviors that are limiting, like procrastination, overthinking might be one, and any kind of self-sabotage, like beginning projects and not finishing them. A lot of negative self-talk also could be self-sabotage. Those behaviors are not the enemies, they are signals. They're there to indicate to you that something is not what you want. There's something that is blocked, there's something threatened, and sometimes it is for your own good. Like procrastination could be an indication that you don't truly want what you want in the end, and that you want that goal because you feel like you're not enough without it, for example. And you've outsourced your value into that goal, thinking, until I have that, I have less value. I'm not enough. I'm not worthy enough. And I'm gonna get into it in another video because this one is gonna be too long otherwise. But yes, sometimes we want things in our business because of our insecurities and not truly because we want them. I have a lot to say on that, so I will keep it for that video. The other kind of symptoms are emotions. Emotions, again, are signals. They are the language of the subconscious mind. Emotions are not coming out of nowhere. They're reactions from the past. I think it's Joe Dispenza that says emotions are registrations of your past experiences. It's like touching fire. Until you have touched it, you don't know the sensation. And after you know that it's burning, you're gonna avoid getting burned again because it hurts. Well, it's the same thing with past experiences that we didn't like, or that, even worse, has traumatized us. So emotions like stress, frustration, or sometimes like numbness, lack of motivation, could tell that you have inner blocks that are preventing you naturally to go towards your goals. But once again, emotions can tell a lot of different stories, so only you know how to interpret them. So what can you actually do? If you're in that situation when you're feeling like nothing is working, you're pushing, but you're not really having the results translating from your efforts, how do you release that handbrake so you can just drive? Well, if you want the most efficient way, go and ask help, whether it's with me or with other coaches, but that deal with subconscious reprogramming, not just surface level motivation. This is not what I do. I want results for my clients, and efficiently and truly, so they can have the business and the life that they want. But you can go a long way also on your own, journaling, facing your fears, and actually getting inspired by people that are where you want to be could go a really long way for you to rewire those beliefs and identities little by little. So the first one, journaling. If I have two prompts that I invite you to journal on, it would be, which beliefs and identities do I currently have that are contradicting where I want to go? So for example, like selling is too pushy. I cannot charge that amount of money. I'm an introvert. I cannot go live on Instagram. People don't care about what I have to say. Again, fill in the blanks here. You can even draw 3 columns, one with the beliefs, one with the identities, and one with the fears. It will show physically under your eyes to your brain that these are beliefs. This is not the truth, and this can be changed. changed. And this goes really long way just to do that. And the second question I invite you to ask yourself is, what beliefs and identities has my future self developed to create, hold, and enjoy that reality? And there you just visualize yourself having the goals, having the money, having the number of clients that you want. Just project yourself and imagine the kind of beliefs, identities that that person has. Don't imagine or write the fears there. Just do it for your current situation now. If you do that, your brain is going to see the contrast of like, this is the current situation, this is the situation I want. And you're going to see what inner work you need to do, like personal development work you need to do so you can become that person that can create that ambition, hold it, and enjoy it. Because otherwise, what's the point? Like, if we want things in our lives and then not enjoy it, then like, what do we do that for? And that's another capacity that we need to develop within ourselves if we want to enjoy it, because otherwise we would just chase goals after one another and never enjoy them along the way. Personally, that's not how I want to live my life. Face the fears. That is also a big one. Like, if you want something and it feels uncomfortable, it's totally normal. It's because you haven't get yourself into that situation yet. So the fear could be, I don't know what to expect, but usually that comes down to not having confidence enough into handling unexpected situations. And that can be developed as well as a capacity within ourselves. Or it could be fears to feel a certain kind of emotions that we want to avoid. And that's what I told you in the beginning of the video. I'm going to do another video about all of this, because if you can train yourself to actually feel comfortable with the uncomfortable, you're unstoppable. Anyway, I will give way more tips into that video and get even deeper into it. So if that interests you, hit the subscribe button. It will be one of my next videos, actually. And the other thing is to put yourself into an environment where you can be exposed with the mindset of the people that are where you want to go. It could be networking events, it could be following those people on social media, and not just watch their videos and content, but truly try to understand how they are thinking and what they're believing and how are they identifying. It doesn't mean that you need to copy that. On the contrary, I would encourage you to navigate all of this with a lot of distance to just see that those people are doing things in a different way. If you can read or look at podcasts around their own life stories, their biography, it could really help, because it will prove to your brain that we can transform. And your current situation is not a dead end. It doesn't have to stay that way forever. And it could inspire you to actually even more face your fears and get yourself in much more uncomfortable situations so you can pursue what you want to pursue. I do have a book to recommend. It's called 10x is Easier Than 2x. It's written by Dan Sullivan and Dr. Benjamin Hardy. It's a mindset book around like how you can see that 10xing your business could be easier than actually doubling it. And it comes down to a lot of what I said in the beginning of the video. If you're doubling down on something that is not working, or that is even working a little, you're just going to double, but by your time. 10x requires a whole new belief system, a whole new identity system, a whole new way of thinking, and a whole new mindset that in the end could be easier in effort, energy, than going 2x. And this is it for today's video. I hope you got value out of this, perspective, inspiration, and maybe tools that you're going to apply in your own life and business, that you understand how beliefs, identities, and fears might block you from achieving what you want, and that those are the real bottlenecks if you have felt stuck for a long time. And if you're tired of feeling stuck in that loop and you want to efficiently get out of it so you can grow revenue, look at the link in the description so you can get started. Wishing you all an amazing week, and see you in the next one.